Ongoing stress can have a physical, mental and emotional impact and can eventually lead to burnout. So burnout is inclusive of but not exclusive to panic, anxiety, fatigue, compassion fatigue, physical pain, overwhelm, disconnection, helplessness and hopelessness. Up until very recently, we've thought that putting physical pain to one side along with challenging emotions or thoughts and just pushing through difficult situations has been the way to deal with burnout and stress. But due to much recent research, most notably by Dr. Brené Brown, it's become apparent that actually paying attention to those aches and pains and those challenging thoughts and emotions and then taking action to change ourselves or change our environment has been the best way to build resilience and the best way to avoid burnout. To be aware and to take action is clearly a challenging approach in the short term because it requires us to be quite open and quite vulnerable with ourselves. But in the long term, this approach is brilliant because it allows us to be with a wider range of emotion and be with a wider range of challenging situations. So this long-term approach is a self-caring approach. So self-care is all about switching on and becoming aware and then taking action, and it's all in the name of increasing your overall well-being. So physical self-care is all about paying attention to any of those aches and pains that you've got going on in your body, because stress shows itself as physical pain. So when I did advocacy work for female survivors of violence, I carried a lot of stress and pain in my lower back, so much so that I couldn't even lie on my front and prop my chin up in my hands. I just couldn't bend my back at all. So for me it was about paying attention to that, recognising what was going on, and then I started practising yoga, which really helped. So mental self-care is all about paying attention to the thoughts you have running through your brain. So we all have gremlin chatter, which is negative self-sabotage that undermines our capability or it might undermine our worth or challenge our actions. The first thing is to remember that you are not your thoughts. The second thing to learn is about gremlin taming. So gremlin taming is actually picturing what that little voice looks like. It might be like a hairy gremlin in the corner, it might be like a monkey on your back, it might be a dark fog. Once you've pictured it, just give it 30 seconds to just get off its chest all the nasty, horrible things that it's saying. And once it's got all of that off its chest, just respond with a sentence or even an action, just to separate yourself from your gremlin. So once you've separated yourself from your gremlin, you automatically create space. And when you've got that space, you can more easily connect to clarity, and you can also connect to self-compassion. Emotional self-care is all about feeling your emotions. So you can do this process with a trusted friend or use a journal or speak to a professional. So before you label your emotions, it's important to actually feel the sensations. It's very easy to just dive in and say, I feel happy, sad, angry. This is about slowing things down and really connecting to what's going on in your body. So it might be that you feel some heat in the back of your neck or a lump in your throat, or it feels like you've been punched in the stomach. This is about connecting, actually feeling and noticing all of those sensations in your body. And it's important not to jump straight into why do I feel like this? This is about just experiencing the movement of your emotions, because emotions are energy in motion. If you let them, they will move through you. So this is about noticing and connecting and allowing those emotions to move, and that means that you're processing your emotions rather than suppressing them. Imagine you have your own ideas around self-care to add to those 3 strategies. My advice is to create a self-care plan, because if you are doing challenging work and you want to be sustainable in your work and you want to avoid burnout, then self-care is an absolute priority rather than a luxury. I'm Hannah Mazzarella, founder of RedR, and I'm working in collaboration with RedR to bring you this self-care video.